Hi. I just want to do a quick video about the Browns recap kind of this week and my thoughts and feelings going into next week. I was going to make this video more like after the Browns game last week, just right after the game, but then I thought it was late. Let's give me Monday to think and then kind of see what the Browns are going to do going into this week. And I'm kind of glad I did because now we get to see, because now I got the news that Dylan Gabriel is most likely, it's not confirmed yet, but most likely is to start this week. Just kind of get my thoughts and feelings go about this team and going into next week. And right after that tough loss against the Lions, I really just want to speak my mind a little bit. So speaking of which, let's just go right into the game that happened Sunday and just talk about that. And like quite frankly, as somebody who actually streamed the game and watched the whole thing, I was embarrassed to be a Browns fan. That's the honest truth about it. It was bad. It was really bad, and it kind of confirmed our main thing is that the passing game specifically, not really the running game. Running game, it looks good. If it had a passing game to complement it, it would be way better. If you watch the game, you go, yeah, Quinshon Judkins is that dude. He makes plays. He never really gets tackled for really one loss. Always finds a way to make something happen out of nothing, it seems like. But he can't really do much when your team is kind of more, they just know that they can only run the ball. They're focusing on that really hard. And not only that, Judkins can't really go to the edges much because we don't have tackles right now. And that really affects the passing game too. But more on this, elaborate on the passing game. It's such out of whack. We're going to start with, of course, the quarterback and Joe Flacco. And here's the thing about Joe. A lot of people are angry at him. A lot of Browns fans are angry at him. And I was not very pleased with him last week either, to be completely honest. But the thing is, man, it's like, you can't keep playing the way he was and expect a different outcome. You know, it's kind of really tough, actually. There is nothing on this team that makes me go, wow, this team is really prepared to play football every week. Because every week it seems like we're not making any progress at all in anything. And it starts with Joe. I'm kind of running in circles here, but he's not good. It's a simple fact. He has no mobility, and he has no tackles to help that on the part of that. I know that our offensive line is terrible, but you can't play Joe Flacco again behind an bad offensive line. That's what doesn't make sense, is that he doesn't give you the best chance to win, even though Kevin Stefanski thinks that he does for some reason. But he really doesn't give you the best chance to win every week. He has no O-line protect him, and more importantly, if you look at the games, his arm is just kind of looks shot. If you ever watch it, you go, man, he's not getting any zip on this ball. And he really doesn't. I know he had that one good touchdown pass week one against on Cedric Tillman, where you go, oh, he still has some arm length. It doesn't look like that anymore. All his passes kind of float. They don't really get to their target very fast. And they're just like, man, he just can only float the ball. And it's not all on Joe Flacco either. Our wide receiver unit is very disappointing this year. They just drops after drops, and you just see it all the time, especially from Jerry Jeudy. Jerry Jeudy, who's supposed to be our number one coming off a big season. He has that contract that we gave him once he came here on that trade. He has not been playing well either. He's played a lot of drops this year, a lot of disappointing moments. He's still a great route runner. There's multiple times where you see him just get past a guy with his quick footwork. It doesn't seem to work. Cedric Tillman actually looked like he had decent hands, other than one bad drop week one, but now he's injured again, like he always is, and that's really disappointing from Cedric, because he kind of was being our best wide receiver. Now we're kind of getting to the Isaiah Bond experiment. And Bond looked good, actually, last week. If you watch the game last week, he was by far our best receiver. He made two great grabs, one on a fade route where he just makes a play on it, just kind of makes a play on the ball, a little bit of a jump, kind of just jumps right over the guy almost. Just kind of just runs right past him. And another one is a diving catch where he just comes down with it. And he's just looked really well this whole week. I really like Isaiah Bond. I like what he's showing. He has a good speed. He kind of gave up on one route, but I think that's more of a rookie mistake than anything else, and you can kind of hope that can get fixed out through more chemistry with his guys and all that. But Isaiah Bond, I'm kind of hype. Fannin Jr. is a man. If you watch a Browns game, you can just see he's already better than Njoku, unfortunately. I think Njoku, I don't know what's happened to him, but he doesn't have the same yak anymore, almost, it feels like. It just feels like he doesn't get the same amount of yardage with the ball in his hand. But Fannin, I think he's better than, I don't remember David Njoku ever being having this ability to get extra yardage. If you watch the Browns games, Fannin Jr. can carry 5 guys and he'll get a 2-yard catch and turning into a 12-yard gain. It is something amazing to watch. This kid is really good. He had one really bad play though. It wasn't really a drop, but it kind of went right through his hands. It went right through his body. He tried to cuff it, just went right through him. And that's more of a, and he had one bad drop week 1 too, but I don't think that's a synopsis of him because he does get targeted a lot. So he does have a very low drop rate. So I don't think he has a bad hands or anything, but I think he is very well made for, he does good. I think he's just really good. Junkins is really good. And that's what's really weird about this whole situation with the Browns is if you watch the team, our rookies are amazing. Andrew Berry might save his job just from his rookie class alone, where he did an amazing job. And we'll see next week if he really does save his job next week, because it looks like Dillon Gabriel's going to start. And we'll go into that right now, actually. What do I think about Dillon Gabriel starting for the Browns over Joe Flacco? And to be honest, I don't know how to feel. For one, I've been not a Dillon Gabriel guy, to be honest. I'm much more a Shedeur Sanders guy. Now, I don't think Shedeur Sanders was a number 1 pick or anything. Or was he? I don't even think Shedeur was a... I would pick Shedeur over Jackson Dart. If I had Jackson Dart or Shedeur Sanders, I'm picking Jackson Dart. But I do like Shedeur a lot more than Dillon Gabriel. I thought Dillon Gabriel was the 4th or 5th best, and I thought Shedeur was the 3rd best. And that's simply because Dillon Gabriel, man, the Oregon offense is very easy. He has not great size, but I don't think that really matters, right? You can go, oh, he doesn't have great size. Look at Baker Mayfield and Kyle Murray, who can all be pretty good at this level. But my thing is about that is he doesn't have nearly the same physical attributes that Kyler Murray or Baker Mayfield has. Kyler Murray is a physical freak, and Baker Mayfield has a cannon for an arm. And Dillon Gabriel, not only is he smaller than Baker Mayfield, but he doesn't have nearly the same arm. He doesn't have the same legs as Kyler Murray or really any really great running quarterback in this league. He doesn't have great speed, doesn't have great arm talent. He does get the ball out quickly, though, since he played in an Oregon offense. He has a decent touch with it, but he doesn't scream to me that he's going to be the guy, really. But Shedeur does have that potential, I think. Did you look at Shedeur Sanders? His main thing was never really actually his physical part attributes or his accuracy or anything like that. I think it was always just how he sacks he takes and how some questionable plays he makes trying to play hero ball here and there. But I thought Shedeur would give you a better chance to win because I think he can run Kevin Stefanski's offense a little bit better. I think he's just as fast as Dillon Gabriel, maybe even a little faster. Who knows? They both didn't really run a 40-yard dash. Correct me if I'm wrong there. But I think Shedeur can play under center a lot better. He's a lot taller. I think he has to play action. I think he's more accurate. So I think he runs that Kevin Stefanski offense a lot better. He can play the play action, deliver the ball on time, hit downfield. He's accurate downfield. He can hit it. He has the touch. He has the deep ball. He has all the things. He had the highest completion percentage in college when he was there. It was always just the sacks and decision making at times that really screwed Shedeur Sanders. So I still think Shedeur Sanders will be in the end probably starting this year because I don't think Gabriel's going to be great, and I think they're going to give Shedeur Sanders a shot. And now the question is, how do you? Is it a good decision to play them now? We're going into the Vikings next week, and this is going to be a very tough game. For one, I do not know if J.J. McCarthy's come back, nor do I think it really gives them a big boost to win. That offensive line is ruined. Myles Garrett is going to feast, and that offense has looked kind of terrible this whole year. I don't think they have a great running game, to be honest. They ran good against the Bengals, but that's a little, that's running against the Bengals. So I'm expecting a very low-scoring game because I don't think either team's defense is going to be able to. Both teams' defense are good. Brian Flores is insane. As you watch how he disguises his coverages, his blitz packages, he's insane. And putting a rookie quarterback against that, he's going to make a lot of mistakes. And so you're going to probably see a very bad game out of Dillon Gabriel, or a game where he just kind of throws checkdowns. Maybe not throws it past 10 yards, really. But if he gets the ball out quickly, which really did seem to work last week against Brian Flores, you might actually see a good game out of the Browns offense. And once that happens, maybe you can get the running game going and get big game out quits on Junkins. So I think there's a very winnable game next week against a team that's kind of reeling in the Vikings and haven't really so much this year. So I think you'll really win this game against the Vikings, especially what's going in now, our defense. Our defense is insane. It is probably the best or one of the top 5 units in the NFL. It has great pass rush, great run defense. It had they let up a lot of runs against Jameer Gibbs last week, but that's more of a, it's Jameer Gibbs. That's kind of hard. But it wasn't even that bad, really. And come on, it's kind of hard to stop the running game all the time when your offense is not giving you any favors either. So you have this team where you're kind of having to go against Jameer Gibbs and all that. That's fine. And they destroyed David Montgomery. Looked awful that game. So I think they can really stop this. The run game is not going to be a problem. The passers is going to destroy them because they're very injured. I think the Vikings have a decent O-line. It's more that all of them are injured. And our secondary is very good. Denzel Ward, Gray Newsome have played very well. Our slot corner's a little wacky, but Harden has made a good play on Jameson Williams and kept up with Jameson Williams. So I saw some potential there. And Ronnie Hickman has played very decently from safety position. The safety is probably our weakest spot. Our linebacking course has really surprised me actually this year how well it is. Carson is defensive rookie of the year in my opinion. Bevan Bush has been playing very well. So the linebacking core has been very, very good, especially. And we'll see what happens to JOK. I have a feeling he will not be coming back, unfortunately. But if he does, I think he will make the linebacking core elite and make our defense even better. So we're going to see really what happens with the Browns next week. And I know Cedric Tillman's on IR, but I kind of think that that's kind of normal for him at this point, unfortunately, even though he has a lot of potential. I'm very hyped to see what Isaiah Bond does in his offense, especially when we're going to do short passes the whole game. We'll see if he can get some yak going with that speed. But this is a very good opportunity to set yourself right if you're Browns with starting Dylan Gabriel, because you're going against a team I think you can beat because of how weak their offense is. But we'll have to see there. And here's the thing, if you don't any of these quarterbacks, rookie quarterbacks, really show that they are the guy, you save yourself so much effort next year in the draft because you can draft O-line and not draft quarterback, and you can really build around this guy. The Browns fleeced the Jaguars, even though I think the Jaguars got the guy they wanted. And I think he's good, actually, Travis Hunter. I think the Browns in the end win because Mason Graham's look really good, and you just get another first-round pick, and you got Quinton Junkins, your future running back, it looks like. So you get all the things you wanted out of that. So it's kind of win-win, actually, more than anything else in that trade. So really, I think the Browns are kind of on the brink of being a good team. All in all, they just really need to fix that passing game situation. Once the passing game, if it fixes itself, which I don't know if it will this year, I have a feeling it won't, but if you fix yourself, you really are a playoff team. And it's kind of sad because you look at the AFC, and especially the AFC North this year, it's wide open. So if the Browns can really start fixing themselves and getting this offense really going, they average just 20 points. That's all you need, 20 points. And I think you can actually make it off and maybe make a playoff run. Maybe not make the playoffs, but make a push for it. And these are all the things. And more importantly, if you do these things, you can just build around one of these quarterbacks in the future, and you'll really be able to actually start winning. That's all the Browns really need to start doing is, hey, if we can find the guy and build around them, we'll be fine. I think we're pretty close to that, especially with a defense like that and 2 first-round picks. You can build an O-line with 2 first-round picks, especially since offensive linemen, some of them are usually pretty elite. You talk like Joe Alt or Saul Saylor. Penei Sewell took like half a year, but he eventually came on. So all these players, they kind of come on pretty well, actually. So I think you'll probably maybe see Shedeur Sanders, maybe Dylan Gabriel rest this year. But I do not see Joe Flacco starting once he gets benched. I think it's over for Joe Flacco. Well, that's it for me right now. Thank you for listening to me rant, and I hope the Browns win next week and prove to me that we can be competitive at least in the future, and that we can beat mostly NFC North teams. So anyways, thank you for listening. Goodbye.